Here we go, guys. The BR changes are in effect right now, so let's take a look on some of them and we might test them out in other videos. So the first thing, as you see, we have a 14.3 max BR now for multiple aircraft, the Eurofighter, the Su-30, and many others, right? The Rafale and so on. But we still don't have any American aircraft to the 14.3, so they remained with that 14.0 for the F-15E and for the F-18, which is interesting, right? Another thing is that now the ADF F-16As are now at 13.3, just like they told us, and you can get. Why do I have to research this? It was fully upgraded, but yeah, you can get the AIM-120s on the F-16As over here. So with a higher BR, of course, they changed the amount of countermeasures as well. So 30 countermeasures normal, 115 large. Before it was 60 normal, right? This goes for the Italian ADF as well, as you see. So you can see the countermeasures there, AIM-120s. And another change from the ADFs is that now they have the V3 radar, which is the same radar as on the MLU F-16. So pretty interesting, right? The Chinese, of course, MLU also got the AIM-120s. They already had the radar. They changed it up a little bit on the missiles, okay? And that's it for the F-16s. Of course, we have the J-8F finally receiving the PL-5. So now we have PL-5 E2s over here, which are probably going to be the best missile you can get on this thing, apart from the PL-12, right? Just because, of course, they have IRCCM. I still believe that, the PL-8B would make more sense, but the PL-5 E2 is a pretty good missile, right? So, yeah, very interesting. Of course, we have still some controversial things, like, for example, the Su-34 got to a 13.7 BR, which I personally think it's kind of weird, since other vehicles that were at 13.3 didn't get bumped to 13.7, but it's still a flanker that has a PESA radar, right? So mixed feelings, but still. The changes that I talked about in the data mines, they are here. So for example, now the Su-7's at a 9.0 BR, which is pretty low, but still 9.0. The Hunter F1 is finally at 8.7, as you see. So multiple BRs got changed from the last table. So this table was updated. I talked about them a little bit on the data mines video, but yeah, we have some interesting BRs here. We have the HJ8E added for the Z9W and the Gazelle over here, the Chinese ones. These missiles are going to be very similar to the other ones, of course, but with some improvements like the firing range, for example, the speed, the guidance time, the penetration and everything is pretty much the same, but just a little bit of a better ATGM for these helicopters as well. And for tanks, of course, we have all the changes that they talked about. For example, some changes to some AAs, some changes to normal tanks, like, for example, the Type 90 over here, right, increasing in BR. So we have multiple changes over here in tanks. Not going to talk too much about them. An interesting thing, of course, I'm not going to talk about them, by the way, just because I already did, a lot. So I don't want to waste too much of your time. But yeah, they are here, basically, the changes, right? One of the major changes that I liked about this one is that the KV-2 now has a much lower reloading speed. If it has an A-screw, 24 seconds apparently, so much better than what it was before. Much better. It's just crazy how better this thing will be just because of that, right? It was already a pretty dangerous tank, but now it's gonna be a little bit more. And to wrap it up the video, guys, they did cancel some of the changes, like the VFM-5 over here is not going to 9.7, the Sabra Mark 1 and the Merkava are not going to 10.3. We have the XM800 that will not be moved after the Bradley, okay? So some changes that actually got changed, but yeah, I will leave this link in the description for you to check it out. But yeah, finally, the BR changes are here. I still feel that there is a lot missing over here. I don't know, like, they did the decompression with 14.3s over here, but they didn't follow through the decompression downwards, They didn't put some of the 13.3s to 13.7, some of the 13.0s to 13.3s, some of the even 12.7s to 13.0s, right? So they didn't, like, wash down the decompression, which I think just helps, it's a half measure, basically, to help the close to top tier vehicles. So hopefully they add more of these later, but yeah, for now, this is my opinion on them, okay? Of course, I'm going to be doing some videos covering some of these vehicles, especially the F-16s later today, okay? Maybe top tiers as well, so you keep an eye out. Of course, we have to test the F-106 as well today, because this is the last star that we can get today, okay? So, see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye guys, see ya.